Hello, my name's Peter Hook. I was a bass player in Joy Division and New Order, and now I'm a club owner again. My original club was the Hacienda in Whitworth Street with Tony Wilson, Rob Gretton, Bernard Sumner, Stephen Morris, all the usual suspects. And we're here in the old factory offices. Unfortunately, this building saw the demise of Factory Records and is now, I suppose what you'd say, some kind of modern day interactive museum. When I heard the building was about to be redeveloped, I thought it was a great loss for Manchester that we were losing, quite an important heritage site. So myself and my partner, Aaron Meller, stepped up really to preserve something that we think is very important, which is the history of Manchester. I must say that the two of us have had great fun doing it, and it's been a hell of a lot more satisfying in many ways because you feel in control this time than I did with the Hacienda, which most of the time felt completely out of control. I've had great fun and been allowed to indulge myself in this place, which is probably the only place I can get away with it, in that I played on the opening night. And I did the Joy Division tribute for Ian Curtis for 30 years, which, as my friend in Australia said, has revitalised my career and gave me my music back again and the will to enjoy it, if you like. I mean, it's quite an odd thing being in charge of the legacy, the way that we have championed ourselves, because a lot of people snipe at you for many different things, saying Manchester's obsessed with past. But to me, the interesting thing about it is that you're using the past as a stepping stone into the future. And I like to think that we've tried to inspire people, to inspire groups, and to inspire DJs, and to inspire the people of Manchester, really, to realise that what they had and what we had from 1977 onwards is still very important to us, and still very important to the history of music and to the history of clubbing in Manchester. The whole thing, from my point of view, needs celebrating. We have our critics and we have people that disagree with us, and that's what makes life interesting.
Indeed.
So here we celebrate the youth of Manchester, and it's quite nice because they're a tough audience, and what we did was, which we never realised, by having 3 floors. Yeah, so by opening the 3 floors, we actually created a rod for our own back in the way that people can be very picky and move between the floors. So when I'm DJing, I have to be very careful that I'm very good, because otherwise I can just see the whole Exodus moving out. So it becomes quite challenging, really. And I must admit that, I suppose it's every rock dad's dream is to be down with the kids.
Indeed.
I had to open my own nightclub to do it, but I'm down with the kids, and it's wonderful, the way that you're treated here, and the fun that we have. It's again to witness the change in clubbing culture that I saw in the 80s through to the 90s, and then now here in 2010. I would say it's a hell of a lot safer, and it's much more satisfying not from a financial point of view, actually, because whilst the club's done very well, I still cannot retire. I still have to work for a bloody living. So, but one of those great things about doing the job that I do and given the opportunities that I have is that I really enjoy what I do, and I find that FAC 251, the factory here in Manchester, is still giving me a hell of a lot of enjoyment.
And of course, and it's gone on to a global scale with the New York Times. They've obviously just said about Manchester being one of the most exciting places to visit, mentioning the factory within that.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about the New York connection coming back round is that usually the Americans are, I'd say, about 10 years behind Manchester, but we don't let that get to us. The thing is that when we went to New York in 1980 as New Order for the first time after the very sad demise of Ian and Joy Division, we were so impressed by New York's clubbing culture. Tier 3, danceteria, hurrahs, the attitude to music and the attitude to the places that they were enjoying, Studio 54 for God's sake, that we brought it back to Manchester, and it was that inspiration that inspired the Hacienda. And that's one of the things that really gave me a chuckle when I read about New York finally acknowledging, the new club here. I think, Manchester is a fantastic place, and I think that really we underestimate our impact on the world. And it's been proved to me by going around this year and celebrating Unknown Pleasures as I have been, to some of the places that you've done it in Australia, Spain, going to Japan next week. You've got it in America. We had a fantastic, successful tour of America. So, and you realise how important Manchester music is around the world. And to me, this is the reason why you celebrate the legacy, and why it's very important, because in most cities in the world, they've not achieved what we've achieved here in Manchester.
Great.